Hey there, it is Corey here from Verse, and I am joined by one of our financial coaches, Vivian, to take you through a snapshot of last night's federal budget. Vivian, firstly, big question, did you get any sleep last night?
Yes, I did. There were a couple of changes last night, but the changes were not significant enough to cause me, stress or anything.
Not to keep you up all night.
Not to keep
sure.
me up.
So, first things first, there is an election coming up. It hasn't been called yet. It's expected to be called pretty soon, and it's likely to be in May, which is next month. And the budget is the government's chance to spread as much love as they can to essentially win as many votes as they can to increase what is at the moment a low likelihood of them retaining government from May and beyond. So we must say, with the changes we're about to take you through, none of them are legislation yet, and a lot of them might not see the light of the day, so to speak, given that there's a good chance that Labor might be in power very soon. So, setting that aside, the headlines this morning really are around changes to the tax system, both in the short term, but also thinking about our tax system in the longer term. So let's start with the short term, Viv. What is the key measure that the government's proposing to reduce the tax of Australians in the short term?
Yeah, if our current government stays in government, one of the immediate changes we'll see is the low income tax offset will change to a low and middle income tax offset. So what this means is, you can see from the diagram that's coming up to the screen right now, anyone that's earning $48,000 to $90,000, they can get a full tax relief of $1,080 for that financial year, and that's for 2018 and 19. Anyone earning below $48,000, you get some tax relief, and if you earn over $90,000 to $126,000, this tax relief will gradually reduce. So if you earn more than $126,000, you'll miss out.
Okay, sorry for those higher income earners, but if you're waking up this morning and the question that you have on your lips, I think a lot of people do, is what's in it for me? That is what's in it for you in the short term, is a bit of tax relief in your tax refund in the coming months. What about the longer term, Viv? There are some planned really significant changes to the Australian tax system to reduce the tax that almost all of us are paying, about 94% of us. Take us through that.
Yeah, so what the government's plan is, by 2024/25, in that financial year, they're planning to have a big change in the marginal tax bracket system. So you can see here from the slide that's coming up, there will be 24% of Australians, working Australians, that's earning up to $45,000 will only pay a marginal tax rate of up to 19%. Whilst majority of us, 70%, that are earning between $45,001 to $200,000, the tax rate will be only at 30%. That's the marginal tax rate. And if you earn more than $200,000, your marginal tax rate will be at 45%. This is to make sure that majority of Australians, like Corey said, 94%, will pay no more than 30% in their marginal tax rate.
That is a really significant change to the tax system. That is saving almost everyone, as you said, quite a bit of income tax each year. So we've just run the numbers this morning as to what that means for some different income levels. So if you're earning $100,000, by the time those changes sweep through in 24/25, I think you said,
yes,
you'll be paying just over $3,000 less in income tax than you're paying right now. If you're earning $150,000, you would be paying $6,500 less income tax than you're paying right now. And if you had the good fortune of earning $200,000 a year, you are paying less than $11,500 than you're paying right now in income tax. So they are significant changes. Whether we see those changes is very debatable at this stage, given, as we mentioned, the election is coming up and the Liberal Party is about 5-1 to win that election. So to summarise, middle income earners, you are the biggest winners out of the budget. The other biggest winners are small to medium businesses. There's a couple of key changes there. Vivian, you might want to step us through the first of the two.
Yeah, so for small businesses that's turning over less than 50 million, what the government is proposing is that they will want to fast track the company tax cut rate from 27.5% to 25%. So you're paying 2.5% less tax, which is good news. And also another thing is with the instant asset write-off threshold. At the moment it's at 25,000. They would like to increase it to 30,000 to help small businesses.
Yeah, that'll certainly help a lot of small businesses out there. I think that's been a really favourable piece of legislation in the last couple of years, the instant asset write-off. One of the changes to that too is it used to be a one-off instant asset write-off. Now it's going to be for every purchase up to that $30,000, which is great for small business owners that are out there quite often working hard. As Josh Frydenberg said, getting in early and leaving late and paying themselves last. That's the life of many small business owners. One thing to note there, really putting our financial advisor hat on, is just because there is an instant asset write-off doesn't mean you're getting that for free. So, if you need that new coffee machine or there's a bit of plant or equipment that you need, don't necessarily go and buy it, because you, as we said, you're still paying for it. You might be getting a discount by the way of some tax relief up front rather than staggered over a period of time, but you're still paying for these things. So make sure that if you're going to invest the money in these things, you need it for your business and your business can afford it as well.
Yeah, absolutely right. It does sound very, what's the word for it? Attractive. Yeah, to spend money, but we always need to make sure that if you're spending it for the business, it's definitely useful and it can help build up profit for the business in the long run.
Absolutely. So if you're uncertain, have a chat with your accountant around using that. If using that instant asset write-off is a good idea for you and your business. Now, finally, in terms of the changes, there wasn't a lot of changes to superannuation this year. Almost nothing. The system has had a lot of changes put upon it in recent budgets as well, and that's still flowing through the system as well, just being the desk there. But there was one change to increase the access of older Australians above 65 to be able to contribute to superannuation for longer. Maybe give us a quick rundown of that, Viv.
Yeah, so at the moment what's happening is that Australians up to age 65, if you want to contribute money into super, you can do so, but you have to pass a work test, and this is all the way up to age 74. But what the government is saying now is that they're going to extend it to age 66 and 67 as well, where you can contribute up to 300,000 per annum using the non-concessional contribution caps into your super. And this is very much in line to, we have better healthcare system, people are living longer. So I think this is a pretty good change for Australians.
Yeah, I agree. So just to clarify there, you can put in 100,000 a year, but you can do 300,000 all at once, but you forego the right to do it for the next couple of years. So that age of 67 is really bringing the superannuation contribution system in line with the age pension age as well, which I think is a good thing, given most people time the access to their superannuation with getting an age pension and their retirement. So I think that's positive for those out there that are 65 or older, or soon will be 65. So thank you for that, Viv. There we go, guys. They are the key things that we see coming out of the budget that you need to understand. Beyond that, and more broadly, there is a lot of cash being put into infrastructure, roads, railways, ports, and so on, which is a good thing for a nation that's trying to build itself. There's money going to education and mental health as well, which is something that you're favourable upon. Maybe share a brief bit about that.
Yeah, so one of the big changes is that they will be pumping in money to fund mental health issues in the community. They are addressing that and opening up 13 more headspace centres to help especially youth to better mental health and suicide as well.
Wonderful. I don't think we can put enough money into that area, given how important and prevalent it is in families and communities around the country as well. So thank you, Vivian. Glad to see that you got some rest and you're looking well today. We hope you've enjoyed that rundown. For our clients, if you want to get in touch to talk about what the budget means for you, you can. We dare say there's not a lot coming out of this budget tonight that means we need to be changing financial strategies in the short term. More broadly, if you're out there watching this video and you've been thinking perhaps for a while that you might consider getting financial advice because you want to live your best life and making good decisions with money is a big part of doing that, you're more than welcome to get in touch with us via our website, www.versewealth.com.au. Nothing else to add?
No.
Enjoy your day, and we look forward to seeing you all soon.
See ya.
Bye.